It's Hank, the Hood Handyman. And today, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna put together our office chair. Actually, it's a gaming chair. Miss Angel thought these a lot more comfortable for doing work ergonomically or whatnot. So I said, hey, go ahead and get it, old Hank will put it together for you. So, first thing we need to do is unbox this old puppy. I already broke the instructions out and I see how many pieces we have and need and make sure we had all of those. So we're gonna go ahead and put everything out, lay everything on the floor and everything. Go ahead and get this old desk chair together. You know, last week we put that digital equipment standardized kit, commonly known as a desk, together. We got one chair, got another chair, and Miss Angel said, heck, why don't we just go ahead and get a third, just in case we want to have company and they can do a little work with us. So here we go. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox this real quick. Y'all stay put, and when we get everything out, we'll start to put it all together. All right now. Okay, now that we got everything out the box, let's go ahead and get to these components to go putting everything together. Seems pretty simple. You start with the bottom and work your way up. Doesn't look like much work at all, but I'm pretty sure there's some simple instructions that we may overlook thinking something very, very simple. And that can make everything complex, especially if you start putting together parts wrong because you're in a rush. So I'm gonna encourage you, take your time. Read every instruction properly, and if you have to, go ahead and type into one of my videos on YouTube or even on Facebook, and I'll show you how to put it together if you're in a rush. Take your time. So now that we got all the components out, well, not quite. Let me get these wheels out of here. And if you notice, I put the plastic and the cardboard on the floor, and then I put the equipment on it, so as to not scratch or mess up the hardwood floors. I tell you, having hardwood floors is an amenity. I mean, it is a little chilly in here, but in the summertime, these things are gonna feel great on your feet. Carpet does keep the heat in the wintertime. So I suggest some house slippers or some old slides like I got. That's what I normally work in, you know, around the house. I wouldn't dare wear a pair of old workman Timberlands. That's just crazy. I wear those when I go out on the town. Especially when I go up to New York cities. I like to fit in. So now that you got the wheels out, and you got this old little starfish bottom, all you're gonna do is take and pop them in as the instruction says. Just push them down. There ain't no tools needed for this one right here. Just push them down in there like so. Make sure they're pop and lock in there. Like that. Boom. There you go. All ready to wheel around and do work. Let me get back to the instructions because I like to go step by step. Where is it at? All right. So now you got to put the old lift and lower mechanism on the bottom of your chair. What that takes is these little bolts and screws and stuff, and you got an Allen wrench that actually comes with the set. Pretty ingenious if you ask me, putting everything in here, and they actually have it labeled. So it's not so as confusing, but you still want to go back to your instructions and follow them to a T. So what I'll do is I'll lay them right there, and I'll even move my old television remote out the way because I don't really need it. I'm into my job. And I always save these Allen wrenches. This is the one from the last chair we put together that actually fits to this one. So you ain't even got to crack that one open. You can leave it packaged. Now you do need the screws. So it says, okay, you got 2J and 2I. So there are two different types of screws that go in the bottom that puts the raise and lower mechanism on the bottom of the chair. So make sure you're paying attention to that. So you want to grab two of these J's. Let me see what those I's are. Oh, there they are right there. The I's. And keep them separate. So I'm going to put my J's over here. And I'm gonna keep my eyes in my lap. Then I'm gonna grab my bottom of my chair, and it even has a mark, front. Then I'm gonna grab the mechanism that goes on it. Hadn't unpackaged it yet because we hadn't got that part. But it's pretty simple to unpackage, you know what I mean? I would not use a straight razor or a box cutter on this because you might cut the material. So go ahead and put a little muscle to it. Pull it off like so. Voila! Alright. So now you get a figure where is the front. Because if you put it on like this, it's backwards. This part right here should go in the front. Matter of fact, it has a mark right there on the plate. Front. So front to front. Now this is where the instructions will save you a little headache. Now you got to figure out which is the J and which is the I. The I screw is going to go to the back. Simple as that. So remember I had those in my lap, so I picked those up and I go ahead and put them in the back. The J screws go in the front. So I'll get my J screws, which I left right here on my instructions, and put them in the front. Pretty simple, huh? I tell you, this is just gonna go together quicker than peanut butter and jelly. On one slice of bread where you just fold it, then you just take and you use your Allen wrench and you go ahead and screw them all the way in. Now I would use power, but you know, it's kind of like you really want to go ahead and build some muscle today. So I said, you know what, I'm going to put those drill up, keep it in my tool holster, save some of the recharge, because the other night, working on that old wicker furniture, I ran out of power. I had to put it on the charger and had to wait till next evening to finish that. And you know, I love finishing the project when I start. So you go ahead and screw those down. Now, me, myself personally, I don't normally tighten everything down all the way. I normally get the screws pretty tight down in there, and then I go back and make sure all of them are tightened. Because as you adjust one side, the other side may have some give that you didn't know about. Maybe the metal was bent, or maybe you had to cut a little cattywampus and didn't allow you to put that needed pressure on one side while the other one was still untightened. So I normally go all the way around first, tighten them all down just a little, and then when I get to the last one, I go ahead and torque it as much as I can. Then I start my way back around, going the opposite way. There you go. See, that one had a lot more give than I expected. Oh, that had a lot more give. So you get what I'm saying? And after you get that last one in, what you want to always do is go back to that first one you tighten down and give it another tug or two. And it's okay to go through all of them again to make sure you got it tightened down pretty fast and pretty good. All right, now you got the top. You got the raise and lower mechanism on the bottom part of your chair. So you can lay that to the side until the next step. Now the next step is to add this old anchor piece, which actually goes up and down with your chair. Now you gotta make sure you got it right. So this little orange end, along with the nice shiny end, stays up. That's what's gonna go into the bottom of your chair and activate that raise and lower mechanism. Oh, then we're on to putting it on there. So you take it and line it up with the back hole. Make sure you can get it on there really good. Boom. Man, we're almost halfway done with this chair already, because we're following the instructions. Now, what you have to do is actually go ahead and get the arms and make sure you get them right. Now, if this goes on here, then that wouldn't work, because that's the back side of the chair, because you can look at the mechanism. So this is going to go on the right side, because it's adjustable. When you get it on there, it'll raise up, move out of your way, or you can leave it down. So now you're going to use what type of screws? You're going to use the J screws. So go ahead and get your couple J screws. You only need 2 of them. And get ready to put this right arm of your chair on. As you grab your screws, kind of look back at your instructions, make sure everything's lickety split. And you go ahead and expose these holes. I like to push the leather all the way around them. I mean, I don't think this is real authentic leather. You want to go ahead and push it around so you don't get it tuggled up in there. See how I kind of exposed those screw holes? And then you put the arm of your chair in there. Line it up really good. All right, and then push your arm in some. Go ahead and grab your Allen's wrench. Again, don't try to torque one side in before you get the other one in. Just a little bit, just get it started. Just to get it started. There you go. See, I got it just started. Then go ahead and grab the other one so you can go ahead and line that hole up. Oh, doesn't want to line up, I tell you. And sometimes you can get a little help, get you somebody to hold the arms while you get everything lined up, get your Allen's wrench, and then that'll help you kind of line it up too, because it'll hold your screw sturdy. And go ahead and tighten it down just a little. Don't tighten it down all the way, because remember, you got to put that top piece on, and you don't want to have to bend or break these coming out. So go ahead and get both your arms on. Don't tighten them down tight now. You want them to have some give so you can have some play when you start putting your other parts together. A lot of people make the common mistake of liking to torque things down. And then when they figure they got to put a piece in between, they got to loosen it up. So go ahead and leave it a little loose. A little loose like that. Give it a little wiggle. Not much. Then go ahead and put your other side on here. Remember, expose those screw holes. That'll help you out a little bit. Go ahead and push that pleather or leather around that screw hole, because it needs to be on the inside anyway. You don't want to push the leather in the hole. It makes it hard to torque these doggone bolts and screws down. Then you want to grab 2 more J screws and do the same thing on this side. Making sure you get the right hole. I almost put it in the wrong hole. Anybody ever made that mistake? Doesn't work out right all the time. So do the same thing. Grab your Allen wrench. It can help you guide the screw in. And remember, you got wheels on there, so I normally put my foot and anchor it. There we go. She going in there now. And sometimes these screw holes can be a little tricky. They can act like they don't want to give until you get a little torque on them or break the seal of the nut or whatnot, or the screw hole, and then you're in there. Line it up. Grab your Allen's wrench. Put it in that hole and gotta go ahead and put it in the Allen's wrench hole first. Hold on. All right, there we go. We're in there. Go ahead and tighten it down, but not too tight. Remember, this part right here is going to be a little tricky. I put one of these together before, and this seat gave me plumb tea heck trying to get it on there. It's going to be a little tricky. You got to do a little jimmying and holding and stuff like that. See, this one's giving me a little trouble, and I hadn't even gotten nowhere in. Just got to loosen those threads up a little bit, see? Get a little bit of wiggle. I'm going to tighten this one up a little bit. It's got a whole lot of wiggle. Y'all following me? All right, now. Oh, there it is. See, if I'd have been using my power, I would have probably had it already done, but I want to show you, just in case you don't have a power drill, how quick and easy and efficient it can be. I tell you, I spend a lot of money on these power tools, so if you're thinking about 1 or 2 projects, I will go ahead and use the tools that they give you. But if you figure you might want to get into handiwork, go ahead and invest in you a drill. Everything goes fast, like lightning. Now, one of the last steps is to go ahead and put your back of your chair on. I tell you, it's really easy if you go ahead and expose these holes. Because I tell you, they can be elusive if you don't expose them. So go ahead and try to do your best and expose them. And they normally go right around the hole and then they kind of hang tight in there. Boom. See that? Boom. Expose the holes. No pun intended. I tell you, words can be tricky sometimes. All right, now I found an easier way to do this, right? And it is tricky. Is to go ahead and get this bottom one in first. Go ahead and get this bottom one in first, and you don't want to lay the chair down, because what you want to do is be able to flip it up and push that one in, all right? And if you do the top one first and you're pushing and you're trying to push it and really get it in there. So what you want to do is start with the bottom one first, okay? And just a little advice from me. You can take it and do as you will, but you know, the handyman knows what he's doing. So just follow my advice and you'll be better off. Then you want to grab a J-screw. And you can go ahead and open this entire package if you want. I like to kind of keep it close because I like to keep them in the same packages as what I got them. So you take it and just do one side at a time, just making sure that you're doing the bottom. Don't do this backwards or you're going to be up a paddle without a creek, or up the creek without a paddle, as they say. And just a little, just tighten it in there a little bit so you can do the other side, all right? And remember, that's the bottom, because your top hole's still right there, and it's going to fold, boom, and you're going to be at the top. Turn that around right there, and it's kind of handy that it swivels, because you ain't got to pick the chair up and turn it. Make sure you got the bottom hole, make sure the holes are still exposed. If they got kind of ruffled up a little bit and all the gyrating and moving and screwing, go ahead and expose them holes again. Always expose the holes. I tell you, that kind of tickles me. Expose them. Alright, now here's the tricky part. This is what you got to do. When you get to this other side, it's going to be a little jimmy you got to do. Where's my screwdriver? There she is. Go ahead and put it in there. Try to find that hole. You might have to push it down a little bit. Because remember, these cushions got some give to them. And that's exactly why I didn't tighten the handles all the way, so they would line up pretty decent. Now last time Aquanetta came in here to help me, but she's in there taking a nap in Mr. Motivation, Miss Angel's bed. I done told her about sleeping on the job, but you know, she's not an early bird like me. She don't like worms. But I'm in there. And see, this was something I thought of last time I did this. I said, well, if I don't have help, it'll probably be a lot easier to go ahead and put that bottom one in first. That way I can screw it in. If I can get it in. I tell you, this thing is kind of tricky today. Because I keep losing the hole because of the leather wants to go around it. Here we go. Let's get her in there. Come here, chair. Don't you slide off. Remember I said go ahead and grab it with your 2 feet there. Push down. Go ahead and get your Allen wrench set. And get the screw. There we it's a good thing I left everything loose, because you see how these chairs got that give to them, so it's easier to control and get where it's supposed to get. All right. So I got the bottoms in. So now, this is the tricky part. Once you lift it up like that, go ahead and screw it in a little bit more. And that way you can go ahead and lift the handle, get it out of your way a little bit, and finish off this bottom one. Again, don't tighten it all the way. You still got the top to put in. Don't go around here being hard-headed and fast. Stay with old Hank here. You be tearing the whole thing down, putting it back together. Then come back over, tighten this up just a little bit. Tighten that one up just a little bit. So you start to pull these arms together, but not so far it's going to be hard to jimmy the top holes in. And I'm going to show you a trick. You're going to be like, wow, I would have never thought of that. If it ain't Hank's idea, it ain't a Hankism. And that's why I don't use my power drill. If I use my power drill, I'd probably have these things tighter than a snake's bottom when he sees a mongoose. I don't even know if snakes have bottom, but anyway, if they did, they'd probably get real puckered up and tight if they seen a gang of mongooses. Do you know that's why there's really no snakes in Hawaii? Because the mongoose population seems to go ahead and kill them all, because mongooses are immune to even venomous snakes. Little history fact right there. Well, not history. Well, I guess it would be history, but more so biology or the ecosystem and how it works. So now, here we go. Here's the toughie part. Getting this back. See how it kind of jimmy? See? That makes it easier to do. Now, finding the hole is the most difficult part about this task right here. So before you go ahead and flip it up, make sure that hole's exposed the best you can. Because you're really going to have to push the back of this chair back to get it back to that screw to tighten the top like you want it. And remember, you got to use your legs to hold the wheels in place, which is kind of crazy that they told you to put the wheels on and the chair sliding all over the place and you're trying to fix it. But I guess that's what they wanted you to do, so just do it. And once you get this first one in, once you get this one in, it's going to make the other one a little bit easier. You got to get it in there first. And you gotta push. Don't just think it's gonna screw in there. You gotta push. Push it together. I can't get it. Oh my goodness. All right, come on. Where'd that hole go? That doggone little leather, I tell you. There it is. Come on, hole. Get in there. Don't get frustrated. It's going to come together. See, I got it in. Well, I didn't get it in there. This takes a little work and patience. Don't get frustrated. frustrated and throw the chair and break it all apart when you got most of it put together. Start like this. At least get one thread in there and you're going to be good to go. You might want to check the screws because I think this one might be a little script. And every once in a while you'll have a script screw in your batch. So check that part too. See, got it. Hang on it. Let's try another screw. I think this one is, because yeah, it's got some thread in it. Let's try another screw here. That might have been the issue. I tell you, it was a lot simpler than one of the chairs that we got. My goodness, that thing had like components galore. I almost wish I had paid someone to put it together and drop it off and roll it into my office. Yep, it was a strip screw, y'all. That's why Hank had a little trouble with it. We got it now. Might be a script hole tag on it. Don't tell me that they got me. Cause yep, it's going in there. It's just not going into the groove. Let's do the other side first then. Let's see if this one actually kick in there for us. See if she'll kick in there for us real fast. If this one kicks in, then we're gonna have a little issue with that other one because I think the whole script. Yep, that's what it was though. Hole might be scripted on that side because this one going. I thought it was going in. One of the things you got to make sure you do is actually get the hole straight on. And that becomes a little difficult task when you're dealing with a one-man job that could have used some assistance. There we go. Oh, not even in the hole. What the heck am I doing? Yep, I think we got some script hole screws. These puppies ain't going in there. Try to tighten the bottoms up. See what it do for me. Maybe it'll help out if I go ahead and tighten a these screws kind of ain't going in the holes right. And it's right there at the hole. That's the crazy part. Right there at the hole. There it is. There she goes. Woo, that was a little hard work right there. Trying to get it right and sized up just right. Alright, so let's see if we can get this other side buckled in there good. We'll tighten the bottoms up here. See if that'll help us out a little bit. We're almost done though, because all we have to do after getting that part on, as you can see, is just tighten, put the accoutrement on, make it pretty. They got little caps to go to cover the screws and everything. And then you're in there ready to do some work with your desk chair. And this one's damaged a little bit. Yep. You might have to send this one back or ask for a refund, but we're gonna go and put it together and see if she holds up pretty well. These pretty inexpensive chairs, they're called gaming chairs. They aren't all actual desk chairs, they're gaming chairs. So, the kids play the Nintendo or the Atari with these, I like them, to be honest with you. They kind of got the, padded, they're leather, but they got the cloth, which gives the breathability. So you can probably put a little nice wash of soap to them and let them dry out. That's probably what it is. That's probably what the problem is. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten the bottoms up. Go back around, tighten all of them up. And now, you're ready to go in there and do a little office work in your good office chair. And come back around here and tighten that top one up. Tighten this one up again. Remember, like I always say, put all your screws in pretty taut, but not tight. Pretty taut, but not tight. Then go back and then just tighten them all up. Get them all in there just right. Well, I'm going to finish this up. I think you got the gist of the job. I'm going to go ahead and do some twerking, make sure this thing is good to go. I'll report back if we have any problems. But this has been Hank, the Hood Handyman, putting your digital equipment standardized kit chair together. Good gaming, good working, and y'all stay tuned. Share this video, like it, comment, and let me know how can I make your house a home like Mr. and Mrs. Motivation. Y'all be blessed, and more importantly, as we always say, go out each and every day and be a blessing.